If God is so powerful, why does he allow war and injustice? Why does he allow one nation to attack another nation and destroy property and even the very lives of innocent people who have no interest in the war, that just want to live their lives? And why does God let that happen? I find an answer to that question comes in putting two verses or two passages together, one from the Old Testament and one from the New Testament. And the critical scholars will immediately say, no, you can't do that. The Bible is not univocal. To which I say, yeah, you don't want the Bible to be univocal. I understand God today from what I see, from what I understand, from science, philosophy, just plain logic. But I understand more of God's character from the letter that he's given us, from the Bible. And when we take the Bible as a letter to us from God to help us understand him, we can understand him. His character is understandable and consistent. If you're an atheist who doesn't want to understand God, who wants to show inconsistency, who wants to show brutality, who wants to show an evil God, then declare the Bible non-univocal, and you can do that. But it's the people who don't believe that God exists who have made the decision that the Bible is non-univocal, and it's much easier to declare that God does not exist by declaring the Bible non-univocal. But if you don't believe that God exists, you have no business deciding that the Bible is not univocal. If he's not your God, you can't choose how he has communicated to his followers. Anyhow, the why of all of that. I said in another post that whoever is elected for president of the United States, and this was before the recent election, the 2024 election, a bigger issue is who are we rather than who the president is, because according to Proverbs 21:1, the king's heart is a stream of water in the hand of the Lord. He turns it wherever he will. If we acknowledge God's leadership over our nation, if we as a nation, as a people, are acknowledging God and seeking his will, God will rule the nation, and whoever is there in the presidency will be moved to do God's will. But then why are there wars? We go up to Romans 1:24 and 25. Therefore God gave them up in the lust of their hearts to impurity, to the degrading of their bodies among themselves, because they exchanged the truth about God for a lie and worshipped and served the creature rather than the Creator, who is blessed forever. Amen. And that's why I say whoever is elected is not the point in the 2024 election. The point is, who are we? Are we following God or are we not? Are we acknowledging his lordship or are we not? And if we're not, he'll throw up his hands and say, okay, do what you want to do. And he will leave us to our own devices, which is like the worst thing he can do. The worst thing we can do for ourselves is turn our backs on God and in our pride say, I want to do what I want to do. And then we begin a downward spiral to our own destruction. And that is a large reason among the reasons of why there is suffering in the world.